too fast and too intense. I had no chance.
Hello everybody, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mahvish Akhtar with another episode of To Whom It May Concern. So today I'm going to talk about my family situation, kind of like gossip. This will be a fun episode. So go ahead and do the things you're supposed to do, like, subscribe. See, now I know, I'm learning. And there's a third thing, I'll learn. The bell, yeah. Do all those things so we can get started. All right, today I wanted to talk about my father some more. It's been a bit difficult to sort out what kind of things I want to talk about and what kind of things and how to really talk about those things, because he's passed away and it's hard to kind of navigate, because I didn't have the best relationship with him. We weren't very close. We didn't spend a lot of time together. My parents separated when I was 5, so since then I've been mostly with my mother. I didn't really obviously spend time with him before they separated. Excuse me. So I'm gonna do this, and that's probably not appropriate YouTube-esque behavior, but you'll just have to bear with me. All right. So yeah, I was 5 when that happened, and I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with him before their separation, and even after. He didn't come around a whole lot. When he did, he was busy with other his practice and other things that he was doing. So yeah, we didn't really connect as much. And he didn't like questions, and I asked a lot of questions, and so, but that really isn't the point of this video. And I hope may Allah forgive him if I'm the reason he's being held back anywhere. I hope that doesn't happen, because it's not good for him and it's not good for me. With all that said, everything that happened and how it passed, that's I will tell you guys that story, because that, not for me, but for others who may have been going through what I went through and may not have help or support. And I want those young adults to have that kind of, or even grown adults, complete grown adults, to have the kind of support that we didn't have. That I didn't have, and I wish I did. And I wish there's so many things that happened that I thought were my fault, and that I thought that I was doing something wrong. And I wish I had somebody telling me that it's not my fault, that I'm not doing anything wrong, or I had just someone to talk to at certain points in my life that I spent completely alone. I mean, I had people around me, but I was completely alone. So I just wish that I can provide that support and that help to someone, one of you. So anyways, but what I really wanted to actually talk about right now is his third wife. His second wife died a while back, and she actually, with all the problems that we faced and everything that happened, she actually wasn't a terrible human being. Whatever happened between her and my mom and my dad and all of that, everything aside, to us personally, if I think about me and how she treated me and my siblings, even, she wasn't a horrible person. But by this third wife, she's been horrible. She's been absolutely horrible. And I, and at least for me, I can only speak for myself. I've always been civil with her, because of my half brothers. They're very, very much younger than me. They're as old as my nephews, and they actually grew up playing with my nephews. So I always thought of them as kids, and I treated them like kids. And they would come visit over the summer. They would, just like my nieces and nephews would, and we would hang out. And so yeah, they were just like kids to me always. So I've put up with her because of them, and I had good relationships. I was always just thought that, okay, I have a good relationship with them. They have nothing to do with any of this. I don't even know why she has a problem with us, because when she came into this relationship with my father, she knew we were actually adults by then, because if these kids, my half brothers, are my nieces and nephews ages, then that means that we were all adults, the kids, us kids. So she knew all of us, and she knew, okay, we are adult children. So yeah, she came into this relationship with him knowing that we exist. So for her to have an attitude or be rude to us or treat us horribly didn't really make sense. It's not like we came after her and now she's thinking, oh, I didn't know he was going to have kids, or I didn't know he had kids, or anything like that. So it didn't really make any sense, but whatever, that's her. But the kids were good kids. Of course, they were kids. But now, not all of a sudden, past 10 years or so, the boys, my half brothers, their attitude has started changing as well, and it's become really difficult to see them as just my brothers. And then it was like, okay, well, they're still kids, they're learning, they're influenced by their mother, and that's fine. They'll grow out of it. But instead of that, a couple of days after my father died, I wanted to go, and I was about to leave back to Lahore after everything was done, all of his stuff was done. I actually wanted to check out some of his things. By things, I mean his books, his memoirs. He used to write a lot. He had someone also writing his life history, and just those kinds of things. And so yeah, I asked his wife if I could come and take a look at those things. She said, no, you can't. You have to wait. My sons have to be home. And I said, I'm leaving tomorrow. So today is the only day, because I had been asking her every single day, and it wasn't working out. First, I wanted all of my siblings to be there, like, including the boys, but it just wasn't happening. She would never want my brother to go, my brother to go, because they have issues. And then finally, I called one of my brothers, half brothers, and asked him, and of course there was no response. And I said, I gotta go. I told her, I called her again. I said, I gotta go. I'm coming. And when I got there was a guard with a gun. And I'm saying this because I'm tired of covering for these people. I'm tired of these people knowingly taking things that belong to us, to all of us, including her kids as well, and her, but to us also, all four of us siblings. There was a guard with a gun who told me that I cannot enter, and with a gun, just like, and the brothers, their family, her, my dad's wife, they were all in there, and they chose to not let me in. And so I tried calling her, not her. I tried calling my brother, and he didn't pick up. I said, what's gonna happen? I asked the guard, what's gonna happen if I try to open the gate? Are you gonna shoot me? Is that the plan? Like, what are you gonna do? What's gonna happen? And so yeah, there was no showing all of us all the things that our father owns and distributing it as he's supposed to do legally and Islamically. There was no sitting down and talking about, okay, so he owns this. Let's take care of it together. There was no. We asked does he have a will? It was like, nope. We have no conversations about his assets, things he owns, and forget the assets. We don't care about any of that. Like, I know that they would never give us any of that. He's the rich man, but he wasn't rich by the end, because he had started losing, kind of didn't know what was happening by the end, and then he didn't have any money left to his name. But let's forget about all that. The things that I was asking for were not monetarily valuable, and a lot of them were not valuable to them because they were our history. They were from the time of, when he was with my mother, and books on psychology, on philosophy, on things that really I know that they would not be interested in. And I specifically was, and I know my sisters were too, and my brother as well. And to not give us those things, that was really just end of the line for me. That is where I don't want to keep their secret anymore. They're vile people. They've always been committed to hurting us, and they've wanted, literally in their deepest heart, want bad things to happen to us when we've done nothing. I've never gotten involved in the business, in my father's business. He's always wanted all four of us to be involved. And my other siblings, they did get involved. My sisters and my brother, they were all involved in the business. I always kept away from it because I was like, that's too much family, too much drama. I don't want it. But even when they did whatever my father wanted, and they did whatever his wife wanted, because she was the boss, she was in charge. And that was the reason I wanted to be involved in it, because I was like, I cannot take orders from her. It's not going to happen. So I didn't get involved. And later on, then the younger brother, who was about 25 years younger than my siblings, and about 15 or so, 17 years younger than me, he became the CEO, and then he started ordering all three of them around, and that's when they started quitting and whatnot. But we didn't complain about that. We were just like, okay, we can't. I mean, I wasn't working, but they just decided, okay, this is not going to work. I mean, it was a bit of a, there was some tension, but they quit. It still wasn't a fight. The fight came from them, and I am going to talk about all of that gradually. But this is where my limit was. That we didn't get a share in anything else. We didn't even fight for it. But the things that we wanted, you have the audacity to put a gun in my face and tell me, no, you can't have it? Who does that? And then you were expecting me to keep that to myself, like we've kept everything else to ourselves. Like we don't speak about all the terrible, terrible things that you've done. And honestly speaking, more than half of those things, even our father didn't know. Because that's how we were raised. That's how our mom raised us. She was just like, don't make trouble. It's okay. Just don't. अब तो हो गया ना, बस अब छोड़ो. अब तो हो गया, बस छोड़ लो. बस अब तुम हंगामा नहीं करो. Anytime I said, I mean, these people, they're just, why are they making fuss about this? Why are they, क्यों हमारे पीछे पड़े हैं? क्यों ऐसे कर रहे हैं? And then she would, most of the time she would say, बस ठीक है, वो तो ऐसे है ना, तुम क्यों ऐसे हो रही हो? Why are you acting like them? I know that was her way of, because she knew that she can't fight back, or she doesn't have the resources, or whatever she thought. But I don't think that this is what needs to be done. People need to be stopped before they go this far. So that's why I'm saying to all of you that I want to tell these stories so you know that people who are hurting you, who are putting you down, who are taking away what is yours, you can push back. And if you feel that you don't have anybody, you do. You definitely do. And I'm here, my team, there will be a lot of other people. If you need help, there will be a lot of other people who will help you. Don't take this kind of behavior. Don't let other people ruin your life and tell you that you don't deserve something, or you don't or you shouldn't have something that belongs to you, that is your right, that your legal Islamic right. Don't let people take that away from you. So yeah, that was my story of the day, and I will have more for you. I am fighting this, by the way. I'm not gonna let some, something this little deter me. It's actually it made me more determined, because it has made me angry, and that's that makes things always makes things worse. So yeah, I'll update you, and I will also tell you what's happened before, so you have some kind of a idea of why this was my limit and what has happened in the past, where I'm just like, you know what, that's it. Not just that I'm going to keep I'm going to fight this, but also what has gotten me to this point where I'm like, you guys, I'm done. I'm talking about it. Every single thing. I have no reason to keep my mouth shut anymore. Even if I had any reason, I wouldn't care at this point. Okay, I will talk to you guys soon. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know that it was a very hazy story. I'm sure you want details. I'll give you as much details as I can, because there's a lot of these people I don't care naming or telling you who they are or where they are. But other family members I'd like to not name and not go in detail. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know how weird it is or how common it is, because to me it's super weird. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon.